Hello and welcome to the Tottenham America channel. Today we'll be looking at Tottenham Hotspur's 3-2 win over Brentford in the Premier League, as for the first time in 5 years, Tottenham Hotspur managed a Premier League win without Harry Kane or Heung-min Son in the matchday squad, and it came courtesy of 3 goals in just 8 minutes from Destiny Udogie, Brennan Johnson and Richarlison, while Neil Maupay and Ivan Toney got the goals for Brentford in this London derby. This win pushes Spurs up to 4th in the Premier League table, leapfrogging Aston Villa, who were thumped by Newcastle 3-1 just yesterday. The game started very much in the favor of Brentford. They had one ball in the net before it was called back for offside. Roerslev, the scorer, but it was called back to VAR for offside. Then they did end up finding the lead, and it was Neil Maupay that finished off the chance. A shot was taken, but Vicario denied it. But Romero was slow to react, and Maupay was on hand to slide in and squeeze the rebound into the bottom corner. And Brentford took a very early lead, and it was like that through halftime and past halftime. The big change came in the just before the second half started, when Ange Postecoglou chose to take off Oliver Skipp and Rodrigo Bentancur in favor of Pierre-Emile Højbjerg and Brennan Johnson. 2 changes that completely turned the game around, because in the 48th minute, Destiny Udogie finally got Tottenham level. He strides well over halfway through the pitch, and then combined with a 1-2 with Werner, Udogie gets it back and shoots before his first effort is blocked. He takes another shot and it finds the back of the net. Then, just 49 seconds later, Brennan Johnson makes it 2-1 to Spurs. Timo Werner is up the left side and he shoots a ball right across the box, right for Brennan Johnson, right on a plate. And it's an easy finish for our Welsh winger to put Tottenham in front and get Werner's second assist in 2 games. And then, the 56th minute, Maddison gets a ball into his feet and takes a shot, but it's blocked, and the rebound falls to Richarlison, who tucks it away to get his 7th goal in just 7 Premier League games. Unbelievable form from our Brazilian number 9. Brentford made it scary for the last 20 minutes when Ivan Toney got a goal back for the Bees, as Udogie slipped when he made a back pass towards Vicario, and Toney was very, very high up the pitch and was right onto the loose pass. He was not offside because the ball came from a Spurs player, and all he had to do is drill it into the bottom corner past Vicario to make it 3-2. But Tottenham did ultimately hold out, and it was thanks to some incredible defending on our part, especially from Christian Romero, who had an excellent second half performance at the back. But an excellent win, especially in the absence of 2 of our most key players. Maybe if you consider Bissouma one, 3 of our most key players in Son, Sarr, and Bissouma, who are all away at their respective international tournaments. Timo Werner really stepped up today. He played absolutely incredibly. It was exactly a winger performance that we needed, up and down completely. The difference between today and that Man City game in the FA Cup was that Timo Werner was actually getting picked out by James Maddison, by Destiny Udogie, by our center backs with long balls, and that was the most important part today, because whenever he got the ball, something happened for Spurs, especially in the second half when we scored those 3 goals in 8 minutes. So much of it came from that left side with Werner and Udogie. He actually could have had 2 assists today if Udogie had put away his first chance, but technically he only had 1 for Brennan Johnson. But technically he'd have 3 assists in 2 games, 3 assists in 3 games for Tottenham since arriving on loan at the club. Another big talking point was James Maddison returning to the starting 11 after a very, very lengthy timeout with his ankle injury. It was his first game back since that harrowing 4-1 defeat versus Chelsea at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and it's safe to say that he made a huge difference. 3 chances created. He completely changed the tempo of our play style today, turned it on its head. Basically, instead of having Kulusevski at that kind of focal point in midfield, it was Maddison, and we were moving the ball much quicker. We were getting it out wide. Timo Werner was seeing a lot more of the ball, which was important, and especially in the second half when we started scoring the goals was when it really came together. Our midfield was okay, but Bentancur and Skip were both withdrawn, and that was the big change, because I think Bentancur and Skip didn't have the greatest performance, but Højbjerg and Brennan Johnson really made a difference. Brennan Johnson, of course, threw his goal, but Højbjerg really settled down the midfield and made some very, very good passes. Excellent play in midfield to kind of keep the core of the team strong so that we could keep going forward, and I think he did that really well. So it was a good, solid performance from Højbjerg. And our back line, Christian Romero, was unbelievable today. Really, really good performance from Christian Romero. He basically didn't put a foot wrong in the second half, at least. He stepped out so many times, and every single time he would read the attacker perfectly and grab the ball right off of their feet, which was absolutely beautiful. Van de Ven covering for Romero a lot of the time. In the first half, I thought Van de Ven was very strong, making a lot of good runs to track Brentford's front three. Pedro Porro, usual performance from him, and Destiny Udogie was very up and down today. Very, very well taken goal, but he made a huge mistake for that Tony goal, which really set Spurs on the edge for the rest of the game after Tony scored his goal, because we had kind of lost our spark that we had found in the first 15 minutes of the second half, and Brentford all of a sudden were coming at us in full force because they had confidence. They were just one goal behind. They knew, our defense might not be fully solid, or we'd be prone to errors, but luckily we did hold out strong. Dragusin did end up actually eventually coming on at the end for James Maddison, who may have went off with an injury, but it's very hopeful that it could just be a cramp, because he looked to have been walking okay. You look to our striker, Richarlison, another goal for our Brazilian number 9. This is his 7th goal, actually 8th goal in the Premier League, 7th goal in the last 7 Premier League matches for Richarlison. So really, really good return for the Brazilian striker after his injury and surgery. He has come back firing for Spurs and been exactly the striker that we have needed. And he honestly could have had 1 or 2 more. There was one that was stopped just before because of a foul. He also missed one literally by about 4 or 5 inches outside of the post. Fans thought it might have gone in, but it actually wrapped around the outside of the goal, which was really unlucky. But Richarlison was firing today, and his hold-up play was absolutely unbelievable. As I said, Tottenham will move into 4th place with today's win, while Brentford remain in 15th place. Tottenham Hotspur's next game is Everton on Saturday, February 3rd at 7:30 in the morning. So that is going to be a bright and early start for US Tottenham fans. It's going to be the earliest kickoff of the day, and we will see how we play away at Goodison. But that is it for today's review on Tottenham's 3-2 win over London rivals Brentford at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. If you enjoyed and want to see more Spurs content, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below what your reactions on this game. And until next time, come on you Spurs!